Hey everyone, this is Alysia, also known as AVP0685. Thought I'd do my weekly update since I've been doing a lot of Sims videos lately, but I thought I'd do one just about me and my blog topic that I did for today. My blog topic for today was about Helen Keller and how she's one of my heroes. But before I talk about Helen Keller, let me just give you an update on my resolutions. Watched a movie last night that I had not seen. It was the movie Bright Lights Big City with Michael J. Fox. I'd seen clips of it and I'd seen most of the movie, but I finally watched it in its entirety from beginning to end. Read a book yesterday, a Harry Potter one. Had to modify my resolution to doing one new book per day to one per week now because my schedule has changed. So I'm doing only one per week. It's a new one every week, starting this week. So I did a Harry Potter one, the second one, Chamber of Secrets. Still trying to back off on sweets, trying to back off on snacking as much as possible, trying to stay as active as much as possible, even though my stomach has been bothering me a lot lately, but still trying to stay active as much as possible. Also, Irma is finally over with the storm, thank God, and I'm glad that most everybody is recovering nicely from that. Still praying for the people that are still in the path of Jose and any other storms that are out in that path. Also still helping out people by spreading sunshine whatever way I can, even if it's something as simple as being nice to them and say, hey, good morning, how are you? Let's see, I haven't done a lot of writing lately, but I will do some writing soon. Also, I'm doing a lot more Sims videos lately, so you probably have noticed I have a lot of videos up. And so that's been interesting to come up with Sims and new things like that. My topic for today is about Helen Keller. Now, you may be wondering, who the heck is Helen Keller? Because I've never heard of her. Helen Keller was an American woman who died in 1968 and who was born after the Civil War ended in Alabama, and she was deaf and she was blind. I want to point out she wasn't born either blind or deaf. She had a fever, and soon after she got over the fever, it left her blind and deaf. And because of being blind and deaf, her parents didn't know what to do with her. They got a teacher who was also blind at one point, but also did go completely blind toward the latter part of her life, Annie Sullivan. And basically, Annie Sullivan became Helen's eyes and ears and the link to the outside world. Helen Keller's story has been told many, many times in various versions of stories known as the Miracle Worker because of what happened on an incident that happened outside of Helen's home where apparently Helen had a bit of a temper tantrum at the dining room table, and she spilled some water on her teacher, and her teacher is saying, I ain't gonna have this. So she takes her to the pump to fill up the water pitcher, and now Annie off and on has been trying to teach her sign language, and nothing's really clicking in Helen's head. She would sign her a word, and Helen would she'd sign it back, but she didn't understand what it meant. That day, something clicked. Helen caught on to the word water meant the water that was being poured into her hands from the water pump. Since that day, Helen was able to grasp on to what was going on around her and understand, okay, this is what this means. When I sign a certain word, it means this. If I sign this word, it means this. I remember having a book of hers. It was in French, which is one of my special talents. I can speak French. And I had a book that we had a book fair at school where you could buy different books, pencils, bookmarks. And the book I chose to buy was Helen Keller's life. It was a small little picture book, maybe 100 pages at the most. And it was all in French, and it told about Helen and her life. and on the back it was in Braille, where you could feel the bumps of what it's like to be blind. I myself have experienced blindness temporarily. It was only for about maybe at the most 2 days worth. What happened was I'd gotten poison ivy, and my mother and my father both told me, don't rub your eyes. No matter how itchy you get, don't rub your eyes. You want to keep it out of your eyes. Well, being a 4-year-old little girl, I thought I knew better, and so I rubbed one eye shut where it swelled shut, and I couldn't see anything out of it. So my mom's saying, don't do the other eye. Leave it alone, leave it alone, leave it alone. Silly me, I didn't listen, and I rubbed the other eye, and I wasn't able to see. The way I was able to get around was somebody had to carry me. My father had to carry me around so I wouldn't crash into things. I didn't have glasses at the time, fortunately, but it was a very scary ordeal where I couldn't see. And so my mother took me to a low-cost clinic. They gave me a cortisone shot. About an hour, maybe 2 hours at the most after that happened, my eyesight started slowly returning. Since that time, I've always been very, very mindful of my eyesight. I never take it for granted. My hearing's very, very acute, where basically I can hear something, things that most people wouldn't hear. Like my father would have a watch in his bedroom, and I could hear it beeping from almost outside of the house. Or if it was in his pocket, deep in his pocket, if there was a lot of stuff in it. And it would be just a very faint little beep, beep, beep. It'd be very, very faint. But yet I could hear it because of my hearing. So I never take it for granted. So that's part of the reason why the story of Helen Keller is always fascinated about me. She did speak, but it was kind of hard to understand her because her vocal cords, when people that are hard of hearing, their vocal cords, because they can't hear themselves the way they sound differently when they talk. I'm not going to mimic it because I don't want to be offensive, but I'll just say that their voice sounds different than mine. Because I can hear my voice. They can't hear their voice and say, oh, that's what I sound like. They don't know that. I know a little bit of sign language. I can say my name in sign language. Alysia. Alysia. And I know a couple words like thank you, mother, father, baby, butterfly, book, and this is read. So I know a couple words here and there in sign language. I know a couple letters, A, and I know Z, which is that. So the Helen Keller story always fascinated me, and so she's one of my heroes. So like I said, I thought I'd share that this week. I'm going to maybe try to do more Sims videos. I may end up doing my Sims Hunger Games, maybe on Sims 3, maybe Sims 2. Still brainstorming on what I want to do. Now that I figured out, okay, there's different ways you can kill them, besides just starting a fire with all the time. So there's other ways I can do it. Sims 3, I have more challenges to do, but still thinking, still brainstorming. Now that I'm over 500 videos, now I'm trying to get at least 600 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Those of you that are already subscribed, keep on responding, commenting, give me your feedback. That's basically it. I will chat again next week. Take care, and you guys have a blessed day. Bye now.